Hello and welcome back to the Metropole Grid. My name is Andrej.
And I'm Patrick.
And thanks so much for tuning in. We're back. This is the third round of the top 8 for Canadian Nationals.
That's right. We're in beautiful suburban Toronto.
Yeah, right in the ballroom or the hall of the
Yeah.
Yorkdale Holiday Inn. This is the second day, so I think a lot of people still came back to watch the games.
Oh, for sure. They came back to watch the games. There was a side Swiss tournament being organized at the same time.
Yeah, side tournament was really, really cool thing to have. And this is actually quite a big game. This is lower bracket.
Right. This is a redemption bracket.
Yeah, so one of these players is going to walk away from the Netrunner, from the tournament, the Nationals. Yeah. And why that's a big deal is that these are two of the strongest players in Canada.
Absolutely,
For the money, at least. On the left, we have Dien.
Right, he's from Toronto. He's huge there.
Yes, Dien finished top 8 or top 16, I think, of Worlds last year, the highest placing Canadian player.
Oh, that's right,
in
yeah.
Worlds. And then on the right, we have Alex. You've seen Alex so many times on this channel.
Right.
A really, really strong player from the Ottawa meta, winner of the what's it called, the Icebreaker tournament.
Yep.
And there was 3 big regionals in our part of Canada.
Yeah.
It was Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto. And these are 2 of the winners of the 3.
Right. And before, they both would have been favorites to win.
Yes.
And now only one of them can keep going.
Yeah, so they're going to... I'm still in the top 8 at this point. I played Dien first round, and that went well for me. So as like a player in the tournament, it was kind of cool to see this because these are 2 heavyweights that I don't want to face up against.
Right. You don't want to see either of them again.
Yeah, exactly. And having them knock each other out, that's kind of good for me. But we'll see how things go.
Yeah, we're all still friends here.
Yeah, totally. No, these are really nice people. We have a matchup. This is Anarch versus CTM, something that there was a lot of in the top 8.
Sure.
CTM, of course, is controlling the message. That is the newest NBN identity.
Right. Trashing cards means tags. That's basically what it is.
Such a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And even with Whizzard, who has 3 recurring credits, Alex is totally comfortable putting a naked remote.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Which is,
Because it's still going to be taxing to Wizards.
Yes.
That's what CTM does. It just makes it taxing to everyone.
And if Whizzard can't play something from hand that gives him money, like a Dirty Laundry or a Sure Gamble, after that trash, he will have less credits probably than the Corp and have to worry about things like hard-hitting news.
That's right. Hard-hitting news can be a threat from turn 1, basically.
From turn 1, yes. Hard-hitting news is a terminal event. It can give you 4 tags if you lose that trace, which is 8 credits to clear. So if you don't have 8 credits, not a thing you want to run.
You're going to be stuck with at least 1 tag.
Yes.
It's scary. It's going
to be a problem. And I think Dien's playing this really smart. Get his draws down, get his money on the table. He is not running that card. And that card wasn't res, so probably wasn't a political.
Right.
Worst case, that's a Sensi or something like even there's a lot of commercial bankers groups going around.
That's a good one too.
But just looks like we have another asset, and that's going to be res. That is a launch campaign. A cool include. We don't see that a lot. Dien is getting prepared for the future with just the money, because you need money.
I like launch campaign in CTM, though, because it's a fragile card, but CTM makes it difficult to trash.
Yeah. I think Alex had some smart choices with his deck construction. With the prevalence of things like Temujin Contract, a super powerful card, Alex did prefer money assets that he could put in a server and protect.
Yeah.
So things like launch campaign that only lasts 2 or 3 turns are ideal to be putting behind ice, and then you swap it out when you want to score something. But look at all these things on just remotes for Whizzard, Yeah. That's a very usually strange play. I believe that's a chop on HQ.
Okay.
Resistor's going to be there. What's important to know is Whizzard is one of the Anarchs who doesn't have Link, so that's 4 credits to get in. Doesn't seem very useful.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. One of the things about controlling the message, too, is if you want to parasite that resistor, which seems like a really easy parasite, you do get a tag.
You do get a tag. That is scary. And it might happen on the runner's turn.
Yes.
That's basically no, wait, sorry.
Always on the runner's turn.
Yeah, it's always on the runner's turn. Can we edit that out?
No, it's fine.
All right, keep going.
We hit a Sensi's there. That's a very good hit. You generally don't want that to fire.
Right.
That's a lot of filtered draw. Putting agendas on the bottom is really hard to deal with.
Yeah.
It looks like the strategy here, Dien did not boost. He'd rather take the tag and clear it.
Yeah.
When you do have things like Liberated Account where you can click for 4, sometimes your clicks are worth more than...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but limited money, I guess.
Sure. All right, icing up R&D some more.
Yeah, I think the big win condition that Dien could be sitting on in this game is a medium dig.
Yeah, for sure.
Against these controlling the message decks, as soon as you get tagged, if you do get buried in tags, there are certain agendas and certain operations which become incredibly problematic.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to steal food early.
Right.
You generally want to snag the breaking newses.
Yeah, because food can be traded back to the corp, and that is devastating.
That's absolutely brutal with an exchange of information.
Yeah.
Dien is running, I believe he chose Grimoire over Turntable.
Okay.
So he can't really abuse the difference between 3-pointers and 1-pointers.
Yeah.
So getting those breaking newses before something bad happens is ideal. That card that wasn't rezzed and now is protected, I'm pretty confident has to be a Sansan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, if it's not being used, it's probably Sansan. Jackson Howard is going to be trashed. Alex is not going to opt to use that, and so that's going to be a Trace 4.
Yeah, just tax.
That's an annoying tax, even with Whizzard. Check on R&D. Resistor there. It is Strength 1, worth knowing. Dien does have 1 tag, so Trace is going to fire anyways.
Yeah.
4 credits seems like a lot for just a random access on R&D at this point in the game.
And unfortunately, he's not taxing Alex at all.
Not
with
the
those
slightest
resistors.
bit. Yeah, 0 credits. It's not a lot for ice.
No, it's fairly easy to res.
Yep. Sensi hasn't fired so far in this game, so you can assume that Alex is holding on to 1 or 2 agendas.
Sure.
It has been 2 or 3 turns, and he hasn't been scoring, so they generally have to go somewhere.
Yep. All right.
Parasite on the Resistor, I think Dien realizes that he has a tag, so it's not going to be instantly melted. If you want to Parasite that Resistor, it's good to do it now because you've already fired the CTM trace.
Right, the CTM trace only works once per turn, so once you've triggered it once, might as well go on a trashing spree.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a bit annoying for Whizzard, but batch trashing is the idea that you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to trash as much as you can in 1 turn as soon as you've committed to trashing
That's
one
right.
thing.
It doesn't really work with Whizzard as well as, say, Valencia.
Yeah.
But still.
Val's a bit better at that. And there we go. That's a Sansan. And what an agenda. The now one of Astro
Just
Script.
1 per deck, and he's gotten it out there.
Yeah, also a shout out. That's the Damon Stone official. Not official.
Well, okay.
But that's the Damon Stone on the Moon Astro, which was given as a participation prize by the lovely organizers at Torsock Grid.
That is so cool. You can't see it on the video, but the man there is shedding a single tear.
Yeah, crying for the death of Astro.
Right.
Quicksand there we have in front of the Sansan. That is cool tech ice.
I've seen so much Quicksand this tournament.
Yes.
I brought Quicksand. It's really good.
I've been a big fan of Quicksand. But you notice there...
seeing a lot of Sensies.
A lot of Sensies. Alex went down to 2 credits.
Yep.
Scoring that, which, scoring an Astro is huge. Maybe you do want to go to 2 credits. And Dien did his judo, his reversal there by putting down a medium Grimoire and threatening a medium multi-access.
You have to.
You have to.
For sure.
And with 2 credits not getting a res, that could be the ice on R&D could be something like another Quicksand.
Yeah.
Could be something big. Could be a toll booth.
Oh, toll booth, Archangel's still pretty
Archangel's
popular.
good.
Yeah.
He's
pop-up window. Ooh.
Still checking, and that's a pop-up window. And there you go.
Oh, what do you know?
That's the Archangel. Dien did not see that coming so much. I think he did his calculation before the run and forgot about the credit gain from the pop-up, which is
the math.
exactly what he needed.
Trashing Jackson, that's too bad.
Yeah, trashing Jackson. I think there's 2 Jacksons out of the game and 3 Sensies.
Sure.
That's a lot of recursion
that's
gone.
Most of it gone. That's really dangerous.
That's no more card draw. The really good thing about Archangel is that it bounced a loaded medium.
Yeah.
That kind of saves you an entire turn.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know if
That's rough.
Yeah, if Alex is running CVS, I'm not sure if he is, considering his deck does not have fast advance as strategy number 1.
Right.
This is a lot different than the old Near Earth hub decks.
Although from what Dien sees a fast advance deck right now.
Yeah, he does.
So Dien must be expecting CVS, maybe.
Yeah, he might be. Because of the fact that this is top 8 and these are generally the players that did the best in the tournament the day prior, they have usually played each other.
That's a good point.
They have talked about deck lists. I was always surprised in some ways how open people are about their deck lists.
Ooh, I'm so scared to talk about my decks.
Yeah, and maybe I think that both of us run a bit more unusual stuff, so a lot of the secret potential's in there.
We like tricksy decks.
Yeah, but these guys I think know what they can expect in each other's decks.
Yeah.
And there you go, 3 Sensi, 2 Jackson. That is a lot of
yeah.
That's some good stuff in the trash. There's only 1 more Jackson in the deck. I am pretty sure he's not running interns.
Oh, there it is. What's he going to do with that? He's going to use it immediately. Of course he will.
Perfect use.
Bring back 2 Jacksons.
Yeah, probably 2 Jacksons.
And 1 Sensi, I guess. Sensi. There we go.
That seems good. And coming back to knowing each other's decks, I think these guys know whether or not they're running things like Rumor Mill.
Yeah.
which is a big card to play around when you're running
Yeah,
things
Rumor
like
Mill,
Jackson.
I was surprised I didn't see more of it at this tournament,
Yeah.
but it is huge. It shuts down Jackson and so many other pieces.
Its existence alone not limits, but it affects how people play.
Certainly, it's the clot of the Flashpoint cycle.
Yeah, so far it really has proven to be that. Temujin also, I think, has a huge impact on how people play.
Yeah.
I have no doubt, there you have in hand, Dien is running a Temujin. And a Yogg is hitting the table. Right now, that doesn't look like it does too much. I know there is magnets for some reason in Alex's deck, as well as an Enigma. But at least he can get through that pop-up without paying money.
That's true.
There's some
Alex
gains
would
in that.
still gain a credit from the pop-up window.
Very much, yes. But you don't have to worry spending your own money on that. Which
That's
is
a good point.
Yeah, that's all right.
Cool.
It's
That's
no
nice.
longer a 2-credit swing. This might be Anarch problems, but Dien is really struggling to deal with that Sansan. And that Sansan is a big problem if you have resources installed. Dien did dump out his liberated accounts. He is no more. He doesn't have any more resources on the table.
Yeah.
Because at any point in time, you could fast events a breaking news, follow that up by just trashing a resource.
Sure.
Or an all-seeing eye.
Yep.
Ideally.
There's no way you're not getting tagged.
No, yeah. With that thing up, you can easily get tagged. Remember now, Alex was still only at 2 credits. And that sweeps week is pretty ideal at this point. It puts him in hedge fund range.
Mm-hmm.
We have an upgrade.
All right, install an upgrade on HQ. Cool.
Yep.
I'm guessing Mumbai Virtual Tour.
Yeah.
That's pretty popular in CTM.
I think the one card that defines Alex's deck is the 3 of Mumbai Virtual Tour.
Yeah, that's how I built my CTM too. It's a mean card.
Super mean card.
So that's a card that when the runner encounters it when it's installed, they have to trash it.
Yes, if they can afford to trash it, they have to trash it. On top of the trace and the tag from the ID itself, that is a miserable card to find.
It really is.
Putting that on HQ might make you think that he is protecting some agendas in there.
Sure.
Again, it's been many turns, and no Sensei has fired, no Jackson has fired for filtration. There's definitely agendas in HQ.
Yeah, there's got to be at this point.
Whether you want to pay 4 credits to get in there, just to get a single access, you will be underneath the 5 credits to trash the Mumbai Virtual Tour.
Sure.
Which in some ways is good, but if you're also under 5 credits, you're in a bad spot if a hard-hitting news comes out.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't seen his barrier breaker yet.
That's usually Anarch problems, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
You get 2 paper clips at the bottom of your deck, you have to rely on other things like Parasite.
Yeah.
We're going for the slow roll here. Parasite on top of that Archangel. The only way he can deal with that Archangel, well, besides Parasite, is he has David's.
He also has Yogg.
Yeah.
And as long as that Parasite is on, I mean, it's not there yet, but...
At some point, that'll be Yoggable.
Mm-hmm.
We have another sweeps. The money has come in.
All right, yeah.
And you have to respect, that money.
Okay.
You have to respect that money because that is an easy, hard-hitting news now from hand.
Very easily, yeah. And if there's another Sansan, that's another very easy fast advance. Even if Dien trashes the one that's already out there. Oh, but there's Temujin, so
Temujin on the table.
Yeah.
I believe you want to do that on archives. Yeah, that's where we're going for this.
Yeah.
So you can basically put that out on the table and then run 3 times and gain 8 credits.
Yeah,
in
basically
total.
a day job.
That's a day job.
Yeah.
For 2 influence. So is that worth it? An amazing card, of course it is. Medium goes back on the table. Grimoire is doing some work here.
Yeah.
Whether this is going to be better than Turntable, we'll see. Turntable seems pretty sweet right now, considering there is that Astro hanging out there in the corner.
Yeah, that's true. Negate the Astro, at least until an exchange of information brings it back.
Yeah, if that's something you want to do. But yeah, Astro token is scary in this matchup. Again, even without the Sansan, a breaking news can be fast advance from anywhere.
Absolutely.
Breaking news into closed accounts is a big deal, considering that Dien is running fixed strength breakers and not things like Faust.
Yeah.
At least I don't know if he has copies of Faust. So if he needs to put down a spiderweb, or I keep calling that spiderweb, if he needs to put down a paperclip to break a thing, or if he needs to boost a trace to get into a server, he can't do that from 0 credits.
Right.
It's really hard to get from 0 to 4 as an Anarch. Like, you need to click for credits unless you play things like Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, I was about to say, Queen's Gambit...
Which now costs 3 credits.
Yeah, that's
they
crazy.
Changed that.
That's a strange nerf.
That's a weird nerf. No, they UFAC that, or not UFAC, they official fact that. Yeah, that's a bit of a misprint. Another piece of ice on R&D.
Okay. Yeah, I think Alex is recognizing that R&D is going to be hit hard.
Yes, that's the win condition, and that is a problem.
There's the hard-hitting news.
He did run, and I don't think his last click was... I don't think he took 8 because he put a medium down.
Yeah, he put the medium down. He only ran twice, I think.
Yeah, so it put him down for money. So this trace, you will have to boost a bit. I think you have to bump it to 7 if I'm doing my math correctly.
Well, that's something.
That's definitely something because Dien doesn't have enough time to remove those tags.
No, he
have
doesn't.
enough money.
So now he's in trouble.
He's in trouble. I don't know. So he's definitely in some trouble.
Right.
The fact that he doesn't have a food score doesn't mean he's in immediate trouble.
Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't have wild side and pancakes and all that other stuff.
We've also seen him dropping his I've had worse, so I think he knows he's not in kill trouble.
Yeah. 12 influence is hard to make a kill deck.
Yep.
But he's running.
He's running. Well,
Quicksand.
he doesn't have the money to get rid of all the tags in one turn.
Yeah.
Might as well try.
And it's a weird fork because you don't know whether you should dump out your Temujin so it doesn't get trashed.
Right.
But you also don't know if they have closed accounts. So you don't know where to keep the money. I think
Yeah.
the safest bet is a bit half and half. So they have to do both.
So he ran once to get some money, and then he's going to force Alex to maybe close accounts him and trash the Temujin.
Yeah.
Which at least sets them both back.
Remember, Alex does not have a lot of good draw cards. He is drawing aggressively, not scoring agendas. It looks like he might be looking for even a Psychographics.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Because that is a card
for
he has in his deck. You can Psycho a food out for relatively cheaply with that Sansan. Even incredibly cheaply if you want to Astro token it as well. But he's not touching them. The money and the tags, they're just hanging out. He's not doing anything with
So
that.
HQ must be flooded at this point.
I have no doubt HQ is full of them agendas.
Yeah.
You need to draw those Beals. You want to fast advance those. I even think you could slow roll a food, maybe wait for him to clear tags so he doesn't have enough money to get into the remote.
Right.
Because no matter what, if he's getting in through Paperclip, it's 4 to install, 2 to break the Quicksand, which is going to be strength 2, and he won't even be able to trash the Sansan.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's actually a pretty
And then
secure
it'll be
server.
one more tag, and Alex can do what he wants.
Yeah, if he wants to trash it. So Dien did wipe off those tags real nice and methodical.
Okay. And Alex never trashed the Temujin.
No, he didn't. And I don't know if it's worth his time considering he didn't have that much money. Like, he just swept last turn, I think.
Okay.
Really annoying right now is Archangel is going to give another Trace 4. Just because of the way it ticked down.
Where did Archangel just go?
It got trashed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
right.
he goofed a bit. So it just got trashed right now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tag.
That's just a tag.
Just super obnoxious.
Just start the turn with a tag.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with here.
He has 2 credits. I don't know if you need to clear that tag. Because you don't have enough money to worry about closed accounts. You haven't stolen a big agenda to get exchanged or anything like that. So maybe you can keep 1 tag? I don't think he's running Quantum. Oh, we're going to take money off Temujin. I think now you might want to consider it. Oh, we got to find a way to get through that Quicksand because he does have really strong pressure on R&D.
Yeah.
Say if Alex Alex has been drawing, and if he isn't scoring agendas, there's a chance he hasn't been drawing agendas.
Right, there might be a lot of agendas in R&D.
Just hanging out there.
Alex could totally score them.
Yes. Yeah, and if you get in, if you can Parasite down or get a way to go through that Quicksand, you have a big medium coming up. And with no CVS, maybe, I have to look at the deck list, I'm sorry, he might not be able to stop that in a timely manner.
Yeah, unless he gets another Archangel or something like that.
Yeah, Archangel is always also rough to hit in the deck.
Yeah.
On the medium dig, that's a huge medium defense. And might be worth not having CVS because of that.
Yeah.
Cyberdeck's Fire Suite, by the way.
Fair enough. I mean, as we saw it take care of the medium with counters on it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
It's doing its
perfect. Job. There's something in the remote, and I think it's up to Alex to decide what to do with it at this point.
Do you think it's a 4-2 maybe?
I don't know how many 4-2s he runs in his deck. I don't think any.
Okay.
There's not many good 4-2s.
There
right now.
aren't. Not NBN anyway.
Or at least, single advance. You could go for something like the ever awesome NAPD contract.
Yeah.
However, you can expect a lot of Val in this.
Right, which
in this place. Also,
we need to remember it shuts down NAPD.
Yes, very much so. Also, 12 influence isn't a lot, so you can't expect that many cool tricks.
Right.
But slow advance is just gonna hang out.
All right, so maybe it's a global food.
Could be a global food, and you have to know before Dien can run, he needs enough money to not be hit again, and that is the easy triple advance into a food. We are on such an easy game point. Sansan is up, Astro Token is up. He's gonna have to pick everything out the top of R&D and HQ.
He has the money. He just needs the paperclip.
Yeah.
Come on.
He needs the paperclip or a Faust, something like that. Even a Trace 4 to get into HQ might not be the worst. If you get hit by hard-hitting news now but you don't lose the game, that's better than losing the game.
Sure.
Something's on the peddler.
If Alex just has a fast track in hand, that's the game, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is. This is not a fast advance deck.
Right.
We're going to pull out the Parasite before the end of turn, so we'll get the counter.
Nice.
Oh, in fact, I don't think it matters because you have Grimoire. Trace 4 is going to come off the top.
Trace 4 in the corpse turn.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, I don't know exactly what window he did that on.
Okay.
But, Archangel.
Oh, no.
Perfectly, he put a David down. So we have 3 good shots on R&D, and
Yeah.
we're going to see a bunch of cards. Those 2, I think it's a nice nothing yet.
Okay.
The question is now, do you burn one of your precious David tokens just to see one more card? Or do you wait a turn?
Oh, man.
I think you have to wait a turn because you know you're not losing off the top of R&D next turn.
Sure.
If he has an HQ, he has it in HQ, right?
Yeah, but then do you run HQ? You could just get through on the trace.
No, I think you probably need to run HQ. Safe bet here is he's staying with 8 credits, but he also has a tag.
All right.
That could be the game right there.
Install something new.
Single install. It doesn't look like he's rushing to advance that.
No.
So that could either be a food or a Mumbed Virtual Tour.
And there's a Coast Accounts.
That's a big deal.
That's it.
There's currently only one server that he'll be able to get through this entire turn.
Yep.
Due to the fact that he needs money to put down a paperclip.
Yep.
If that's his option, he needs money for Faust. So I think we can get 2 runs. The Yogg is actually helping a lot now in the pop-up window.
Yeah, it is, really.
Another Axis. 3 cards deep, that's nothing but a Jackson.
Okay, that's something. You can probably run one more time to get some agendas.
If you run, right now you can access 2 more cards, I believe.
Yep.
He is feeding him money. I don't think that's going to matter. Get a couple cards
Something
on the top.
new.
That's an all-seeing eye. And into a breaking news.
I think that was an exchange of information.
Oh, exchange of information. Yeah, you're right. Totally.
Okay, well.
That's just a breaking news. Not much else to do now. Draw.
Yeah.
That's looking like it's going to be game.
Yeah, looks like it. So.
And there you go with the Astro token.
There we go.
You don't even need to advance the food once. Super well played.
Yeah.
No breakers there coming in. It's always going to be the big Anarch problem.
Yeah,
There's the
that was
2
rough.
paper clips you saw Dien fishing out. Just somewhere in the
That's
middle.
really too bad.
And that's always really too bad. Really well played by both still.
Yeah, still.
Dien playing the cards that he had with putting off a lot of pressure. Still.
Yeah, tremendous pressure. Just wasn't accessing agendas, but still kind of scary to sit across the table from him.
Yeah, very scary. So that is game 3. We are now, I think there's only after this is there's 2 more games after this and then the top 8.
Okay.
Excellent. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao.